I've always been a fan of slightly strange authors, Hunter S. Thompson included, and Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, the movie obviously, really awesome to see, but it actually made me want to read the book. After I read Hunter S. Thompson's other work, I started looking into the motorcycle-related things, and I found Song of the Sausage Creature, which is about a 900cc Ducati cafe racer that he falls in love with. And that then leads to the Faster Faster tattoo, which his quote is, "Faster, faster until the thrill of speed overcomes the fear of death." My brain seems to move 1,000 miles an hour, and the only time that I've managed to slow it down is going really fast on a motorcycle. Other people think that's like the scariest thing in the entire world, but to me, that's when I can think about what's in front of me and not all the other things clouding up my mind. All my anxieties go away. That feeling of moving forward takes away all the anxiety and the stress and the worry that I have about all of the BS in life. And I think that's where the Faster, Faster quote and tattoo comes from for me, is finding that balance, because that's where I feel most happy and most at peace. MotoLady started completely by accident. When I got my own motorcycle, I started wanting to do photo shoots with bikes, and naturally, because I am a lady, I wanted to include lady motorcyclists in that. And so, searching for inspiration, stumbling upon them on Tumblr and elsewhere online, I started to put them all in one place, and it actually kind of started to take off. And I started to brainstorm the different names that I could come up with, and MotoLady is the one that stuck. And I Googled it, and it wasn't used. Got my name. I just started posting every day photos from my own life, trials, tribulations of my adventures, and trying to figure out how to change my oil for the first time, breaking off bolts, having to fix them with no knowledge of any of it, learning to wrench, everything, and it just took off. From there, I also kept featuring other women motorcyclists, and that just started to grow the community even more, to the extent now that I know so many women riders all across the country and world, and it's just incredible. The Ducati Monster project that I started was also a happy accident, much like MotoLady. I was working at Moto Corsa in Portland, the Ducati dealership, and one day I get a phone call from Arun, 5 minutes to close. He's standing in the corner, like kind of in darkness, next to this like black beat up Ducati Monster, and he goes, "Do you want this?" And I was like, "Yes, sir, that sounds great. I would love to." There was a number of things wrong with it, which is why he gave it to me, because it was gonna take a lot more work to get it going than money was. He said, "All I ask is that you love it." And I said, "Oh, I will." For the next 3 years, I battled learning every bolt, every part of that bike, taking it apart, putting it back together, just making it work in any way I could, and that's why it took 3 years. After it was finally done, it was so worth it. So worth it. Being self-employed, weekends actually are often filled with working. So Mondays, I usually want to go for a ride, and I want to go by myself and go wherever my wheels take me. My favorite place in almost all of Southern California to go ride is Los Padres National Forest and Highway 33 and the 150, because they're really nice roads, and especially on Mondays, you'll see maybe 2 cars the whole time. So you can just like go back and forth on your favorite part of the road and have a good time learning it over and over again. And the more you learn a road, the more fun it is. There's different elevation changes and beautiful vistas, and it's breathtaking up there. On a day-to-day basis, there's lots and lots of things going on in my head, and being able to escape that and being able to sit up there at the top of the mountain and watch the sunset, it gives me the peace of quiet that I need in my head and lets me reflect on my day and on the ride that I just had. but it's nice because it almost makes you feel like you're alone in the world for a moment. I don't remember the exact age, but in my early teens, I started having a lot of problems in school, just staying focused, having what I know are panic attacks. And my mom took me to a psychologist. She said, you have a really great head on your shoulders, but I think that your anxiety gets in the way of a lot of things for you. It's a mental block. And I had never considered what was happening to me was anxiety. I didn't realize that certain environmental factors would overload my system and kind of just make me shut down. That was the first time in my life that I was aware of my anxiety, and I did try medication as an agreement with my mom because she thought it might help, and it did not make me feel any better. It didn't really help because the things that were causing me anxiety weren't something that could be solved with a pill. It was something that I had to work through mentally and understand and fix. And I'm really glad that I did that instead of taking medication for me, because I actually was able to identify some of the problems and then also find a solution. My motorcycle and riding in general and all of the people that come along with motorcycling, it makes me feel so much better about the world, and it takes away a lot of that anxiety too. There have been plenty of times where spending my free time doing Moto Lady, which I don't really make money off of directly, has been kind of trying. And then I get an email from a 55-year-old lady that went and got her first bike for the first time because of the fact that I somehow inspired her. So having the ability to help other people, it makes all the difference. Motorcycling is many things to me. It's life-changing, it's inspiring, it's helped me through so many different things in my life that I don't really know how I would have gotten through a lot of things without it. So if I get an email from someone that went and picked up a bike just because somehow I inspired them to do so, it really, really makes the years and years worth it. If they get like 1/10 of the joy that I get from riding my motorcycle, then I did something really good for them. And it's all just because I like it so much that I talk about it. And that's really, really cool. The world's much more quiet and peaceful inside a motorcycle helmet. And the same goes for where bikes can take you, whether it's overlooking a really cool vista or up the best road. It's really satisfying. Even an hour ride out into the mountains on Highway 33. It's really rewarding. All of it, every part of motorcycling is rewarding. Working on your bike, getting the bike you want, getting it the way you want, riding where you want, and then stopping at that really cool place that catches your eye because it looks magical to you. It makes it a lot easier to go back down into reality and re-immerse yourself in the world because you just filled your cup with happiness